and welcome to our channel. Today we're going to do a full tour of our 2012 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter camper van. Come on. One of the first things you'll notice about our van is that our doors have a different color bottom. That's because we took that piece off and we spray painted that. It had some scuffing on it, and we felt that that would be a good way to make it look a little more presentable. Very happy with the way that color has turned out. Over here on our step, we've installed some carpeting. This is indoor-outdoor carpeting, and that helps us keep our shoes clean as we enter the van. You'll also notice that the base of the passenger car seat is painted, and this particular seat also has a swivel on it. So this seat can swivel 180 degrees and face the back of the van. Also, one of the improvements that we've made on the van, or purchases that we've made from the van that I've been very, very happy with, is this carpeting, which is specifically made for this year van. It covers the entire front of the van, so the whole cockpit, I would call it, of the van, and it fits exactly to the layout of the van. You can see that it goes around the driver's seat base, as well as around the wires or the plastic that comes up and stops with where the cab part or the back part of the van would be. It also does a really good job of laying out on the footrest and underneath the pedals. Again, this was a product that I will link in the description below, and you can see this here. We purchased this from Amazon, and it was relatively inexpensive and a great purchase for this van. Another purchase we made for this van that we really, really like is this cup and food tray holder, and this is made by Cave Van, and you'll notice that this has it fits in the opening. Let me show you this here. It fits in the opening on the dashboard, and it's got some rubber feet on there and screws that hold it into place. I feel like one of the rubber things has come out, but it holds it into place, and that keeps it from rattling around, and it allows us to hold larger containers because the original cup holders are incredibly small. We also upgraded to an Android screen. We have a backup camera outside of the van, and that allows us to have good visibility when we are backing up. Haven't quite figured out all of the benefits of having an Android screen. Want to attach to my phone so we can listen to music. One of the things you'll notice about our sliding side door is that we have a permanent screen up there, and this is an inexpensive screen from Amazon, as you can see here in the corner. We purchased that online and installed this is sticky, let me get the screen out of the way. This is Velcro that has tape on the back. Let me try to get this over there. There we go. Velcro with tape on the back, and that is on the side of the van. And then the screen itself comes with Velcro, and we just seal it around, and it offers a really nice way for us to put a screen, and it stays up the whole time. We can open and close the door with this in there. We just have to make sure that this part at the bottom is inside the van when we close it. We've also added, so this particular model comes with this little piece of Velcro here, and we added a strip of Velcro up here, and we can, doing this with one hand, so we can attach this Velcro to that strip, and it allows us to have the door open so that we don't have to keep opening and closing it if it's cool and there aren't a lot of bugs. So you'll also notice as you come in the van, we've got our kitchen area that starts here. We've got our sink right there, and I'll show all of that to you. And on the back of the passenger seat is a shoe storage bag that we've kind of identified as a way to keep things near here. We put the dog's little baggies of food in there when we travel, things I want to access easily. So sometimes my sunglasses will go in there. You'll notice that there are slippers. We also have hiking shoes that are there. So the original purpose was to have shoes in this, and I'll provide a link to something similar to this, but it has been modified to kind of hold everything. I think we've even put bottles of water in there just for easy access. The same carpeting as we have in the front, and that's for us to wipe our feet on when we come in. We also use this rug. It rolls up and goes there. It's just a cheap rug that we utilize to lay down in front of the van. Of course, it doesn't lay flat. To lay down in front of the van so that we can have our shoes kind of wiped off before we get in. And then we also have a rug inside the van as well. It's just a home rug. My flooring I love. So this flooring is blue and gray. It's hard to see the coloring, but I picked out this Payor blue flooring. I will link that as well in the description below. Our behind the driver's side, we currently store our ladder. We are going to add a ladder to the side of the vehicle, but we haven't done that yet. So temporarily we have one of these extension ladders. And this bench right here has a swivel arm table that allows us to move it around in different positions. There is storage beneath this particular seat. There's two lights that are underneath there that are you can turn them on by there's a power switch over there, but we also have storage above that seat that we put our clothes in when we travel. In these cabinets, we keep our clothing and our bathroom supplies, as well as some towels. We have in the past used these cubes to store clothing in. I am going to start using packing cubes, which is why there is no other cube over here. We line the inside of this with clear plastic to protect the surface of the shelf so that we don't damage, not that we have a great paint job, but that we don't damage the paint job. We also have these lights that we have in here that are motion censored. There we go. That are motion censored. So if we close this, it will shut, the light will shut off after a period of time. And when we open it, it provides light for us to see in here. And these lights, these lights are magnetic. We have, this is a piece of metal, and they come with a magnet, and we just stick the magnet to the roof, and then we can take it off. They are USB-C, it looks like, chargeable. We have chargers, so we charge these up before we travel, and then we have lighting in there. Nice and convenient. This cabinet also has these containers. Like I said, this one has our bathroom supplies in it, and we've got our towels. You'll notice they're kind of difficult to get in and out, which is why I'm switching to packing cubes. Corey's still going to use these, but I'm switching to packing cubes. And then we just put that up here. In this cabinet, we will keep our window coverings for the van. So we have all of our window coverings in there. We also have beach blanket and our outdoor lights. Our outdoor lights are magnetic, so we can't leave them on when we drive. And if we are bringing our bicycles with us, our bicycle helmets will also go up into this storage area. this is the kitchen area of our van. And I'll give you a quick overview and then I will kind of walk through everything. We have our sink, which is covered with a cutting board that pops off, and we have a square deep sink. We've got a 2-burner gas stove. We have a refrigerator. We used to have a 12-volt refrigerator. This is a regular dorm fridge type refrigerator. And we have storage underneath that with 3 drawers over here, 2 cabinets, and a drawer over here. And I'll go through all of that in a minute. We also have overhead storage. We keep our paper towels up next to that, and we use a Velcro zip tie in order to keep them from flying off while we're driving. Underneath our stove area, we have some stainless steel and lighting, so I can turn that on and give you a better idea of what it looks like. We also have an outlet that has regular household voltage as well as USB and USB-C. All of our outlets are set up that way so that we can plug pretty much anything into them. We have plenty of storage. We have a lovely sink with a faucet here. We've got a cutting board that can come off that covers up our sink. This faucet can pull down and it can reach outside. It just doesn't get very far. I really like the faucet. I wanted black because I felt that it would kind of cool off the interior a bit. And this faucet works fantastic. It's inexpensive. We didn't want to spend a lot of money because we wanted something that in case something happened to it, it would be easy to replace, inexpensive to replace. So that this was the faucet that we decided to go with. And we also have a matching black sink. And you'll see that our sink is a square sink. We purchased this rubber protector that we put on when we are using the van. We'll just slide that on, and that keeps the water from getting up here. The nice thing about this sink is it has this lovely basket that strains. That's really nice, as well as this that seals super well. So that is our sink. In this drawer, we have our items that we need readily at hand. Corey calls it our junk drawer, but I do not think it's a junk drawer. In this cabinet, we have our drying pad, cutting board, plastic cutting board, and this is a container with our wash rags and our towels and kitchen scrubby stuff. On the bottom shelf, we have our NutriBullet. We have back there's our coffee grinder, back there, our coffee pot. We have actually a toaster in here, a one slice toaster, some wipes, and our fire extinguisher. This is obviously a dummy drawer base. Underneath here we have we actually use this for recyclables. We put a bag in here and we put our water bottles or our recyclables in here when we camp. We have a different garbage can for outside, but this also houses the gas for our stove, garbage bags, and that is actually just the little soap to keep the mice away, which we haven't really had a problem with that. And then a air freshener that we used over the winter that's still left. These drawers hold most of our kitchen essentials. So in our top drawer, we have our silverware or blackware and our utensils, measuring cups, etc. Second drawer down, we keep our paper plates. We put some food items in here when we travel. Our soap is stored in here while we are driving, but when we are parked, it actually goes up on the counter. So this is not really used at this time, but we'll get there. And then this drawer has our pots and pans in it and our collapsible colander. We have chosen to go with a dorm style fridge that uses regular power. We had a 12-volt fridge, but it did not work out the way we wanted. Hopefully we'll switch back to 12-volt, but for right now we just have, this is a Whirlpool dorm fridge, and it just has a freezer space and a refrigerator space. It's got pretty good space. The one thing is when we put a lot of items on the door, it flies open while we drive. So we will keep that from happening by using just an inexpensive door stop. And that'll keep that door from flying open while we drive. We have one more drawer in the kitchen, and that is this one. And this one has space for spices at the top. And then another nice thing about this drawer is you can put taller items down here. And that's the other drawer for our kitchen. For our overhead storage in our kitchen, we have these two cabinets. And in the first cabinet, we have our dishes, and we purchased these to keep our dishes from making noise because we have real dishes. So we just slide those in there and put our dishes in. We also have our coffee mugs in here, our coffee Keurig strainers, and a bonus, we have a mirror up here, and it just is being held on. This is a camp mirror. We just hook it on like that. We also have, on this side, is where we store our dry goods, and we have Reynolds Wrap back here right now, but we put in all of our dry food that we need when we go camping for the weekend. We just store that up here. Neither of these really have lights because we don't really find that we need lights to see what's in here. We just use the lights in the van to see what's in here. We have two lights underneath here that are controlled by a light switch right here. So they have we have a workspace well lit that we need it. We also have some brushed stainless steel subway tile that is on the back of it's our Backsplash. And one of the things that we noticed when we were cooking in the mornings and the bed was down was that we were concerned that we were going to get the bedding, etc., dirty. So Corey designed this divider that can come out, and you just pull it out, and it is a piece of pressed wood, a very thin piece of pressed wood, and it's got the subway tile on it with these rubber guides on the side. This is just duct tape on the top. And on this side, the side that faces the living space, we have painted it the same color and a decal so that it matches our living space. And to put it in, just put it on there's metal tracks here. You just put it in the track and slide it over. It doesn't create a perfect seal, but it does a fantastic job of keeping the kitchen smell pretty much on this side of the van, which is really nice. Let's talk about lighting and power real quick. One of the first things you'll see when you get in the van is this button right here. And this button controls the lighting on the ceiling. We wanted it at an easy location so that when we first came into the van, we could turn the lighting on. And then underneath here is our outlet switch that serves both inside and outside of the van. We also have an outlet on the front of this bench. And the lighting, we also have lighting underneath these cabinets, which we have 2 lights for the seating area down here. So we have 2 lights up here. And they're controlled by the switch back there. On the ceiling in the front of the van, we have 2 lights right behind the cab space, as well as our smoke detector. While I'm up here, I'll also share that we have a max air fan here, and we also have a max air fan above the bed. We also have 2 more lights here in this space of the van. And as you move back, we've got our lighting underneath the kitchen cabinet. And then we also have lighting in our seating area. We have 4 lights underneath here. And when the bed is down, we have 4 lights underneath the bed as well. We also have a task light right there for either while you're sitting there or while you're in bed. And the controls for our lighting over here are on this wall, which is the other side of the shower. And I'll show you the shower in a moment. But this gives us, this is our display for our batteries and our solar. And we also have our water. This is our pump for the water. We have our hot water heater switch is right here. We can turn that on and off as we need it. And then we have lighting above the van, or above the bed, below the bed, and then this button lights our bathroom. Shower is located directly behind the bench on the driver's side. We have a shower curtain on the outside, and that is to give us room because we also, this is our bathroom space, so we also have our toilet down here. So this provides us privacy. This is our shower space. We actually have a door that you can just pull closed, and it latches and allows us to take a shower in there. Once you're done showering, you can just push again and the door slides shut, and there's a squeegee built in over here that will kind of wipe the water off as it rolls it back up into the side. We went with black shower head, and this particular shower head can come off and obviously provides us the flexibility of putting the water wherever we want. It's very convenient. It also has on and off. This is on and off, so it turns the water flow on and off. And it has a control down here that allows us to go hot to cold. This is our storage for our soap. The walls are regular floor vinyl that we picked up to put on the walls. We felt that having 1 full piece per wall of vinyl would minimize the leaking. You also notice in the shower that we have our portable toilet. This is just a regular camping type toilet. You fill it with water, and it has a pump here. So when you go to the bathroom, you can pump water to flush the toilet, and then you can also pull this out and it lets all the liquid, etc., down into the bottom of the toilet. Very simple to use, easy to take in and out and clean. We have a shower mat in the shower to minimize slippage. One thing you'll notice is that we have carpeting on the floor, but it doesn't cover the entire floor. These are actually carpeting squares that we picked up from our local hardware store. They are 24 by 24, and you'll notice that they're movable. And we decided to put these down because you don't feel the dirt as much. Everybody knows that you get dirt in your camper when you're camping, so it minimizes that. All right, let's talk about the seating area in the back. We have plenty of space back here. This space actually can be converted into a bed. It is not our permanent bed though, or the bed that we use. The bed that we use is right up here. And we control our bed using ratchet straps. This is a safety measure that I asked Corey to add. You'll notice that there's no weight on this. I asked him to add those on the front and back in case the ratchet straps did not do their job. They've been doing their job, so yay for that. But we will remove these and lower the bed using the ratchet straps. If you're interested in seeing how that process works, click on the link to watch the video. You'll notice that we have lighting under the bed. We also have lighting above the bed that is controlled over here. So it's got 4 lights up there. We also have a max air fan up there. So we have plenty of circulation. We have 2 main seating areas, and we have an optional center bench that can actually be moved anywhere in the middle. The piece of wood that supports that fits anywhere inside here. The nice thing about that piece of wood and the table together combined, they can be put in the middle and we can spread all the cushions out. And again, this becomes a second sleeping space. So if we're too lazy to lower down our bed, we can just sleep down here. So this particular bench, which is on the driver's side, houses our electrical and water heater. We also have access to that using this door. So that provides additional access to the water lines that go into the shower and some electrical lines. And that's open up into the space that's underneath the benches. You probably are wondering how much space we have to sit. I will show you. So while we have to bend over to get in here, once we're in here, it's very comfortable. We have enough ceiling space and you don't feel crowded. We have a table back here that's completely adjustable. The table can be positioned in that spot, and we also have another lagoon arm set up here. This table can come out and we can use this to eat off of, play cards, whatever we want to do. It can slide around to be a table for this bench back here. And again, this bench can come out. This tabletop comes off, and again, it lays across on these ledges here, and that allows us to lower the bed. We don't have to take this off to lower the bed, but we do. And it also would allow us to make this a bed space. So if we put this down here, we actually have 2 tables, so we could use both tables, or we could use this table and that bench and create enough support to put the cushions across and have this whole space as a bed. In the main living space of our van, we have 2 benches, and we also have an optional bench that goes across the back. So if we wanted to just lay across the back or sit across the back and look out, we can do that. You also notice that we have a screen on the back door permanently as well. And this screen shown here was purchased from Amazon. These are very reasonably priced and simple to install. Just put the Velcro on the inside of the door frame and hung the screen. It's a little bit long. We're talking about folding it up and sewing it with fishing line, but we're not sure that's what we're gonna do. One thing that we like to do is, if it's not too buggy out, we want to have the screens open. You just take this piece of Velcro and we affix it up here to this very discreet piece of Velcro. And now we are able to have our van screens pulled back. If we choose not to have them, we can also take them down. It's easy to just, they're, like I said, they're Velcroed up, so it's easy just to undo the Velcro, and we could easily take them off. But we found that oftentimes we didn't necessarily want to take them off. We just wanted to open them up temporarily. So that's how we do that. You'll notice that on each side of the bench we have a power outlet, and that is our panel for our 12 volt and 120. So I can open that and show you that we've got our fuses in there and our circuit breakers in there. We also chose to run a fan. This is just a regular computer fan to keep this area of the van cool. When it's warm inside the van, we want to make sure that our electronics are kept cool. This is what the back of our van looks like when we have our bed down. In order for us to lower the bed, the first thing that we do is we lower the lagoon table that's in the back, and oftentimes we'll take the wood off the top of it because that allows us to get our bed down a little bit lower, which is easier for us to climb in and out of. We then remove those metal safety hooks that we have installed and release the ratchet straps on one side while supporting the bed, lower it about halfway, lock the straps, go to the other side, lower it to the height that we want it, come back to this side and do the same thing. I've got a whole video on that if you want to watch that. We have the ratchet straps attached to aluminum bars that are attached to the frame of the vehicle, and those straps each hold, I think, about 400 pounds. You'll notice that we have 4 lights above the bed, as well as a max air fan that helps us keep the airflow back here. We have the cushions are still up on the side of the bed, and that keeps the bed from swinging back and forth because it really doesn't rest on the cushions, the seat cushions. It is kind of nestled in there between those 2 cushions, and the ratchet straps support it. With the bed in this position, we still have plenty of space in between the benches, and if we chose to leave the bed down permanently, we could utilize that space for garage. When we originally designed this layout for our van, where we would have a bed that raised and lowered, we wanted an automatic system that would allow us to raise and lower our bed with the press of a button, but those were out of our price range. We're very happy with the way that these ratchet straps work to allow us the opportunity to have a multi-function space in the back of our van. At any point, we could decide that we wanted to eliminate the top bed, and we could remove the ratchet straps and take that out, and the only thing that would remain would be those aluminum bars that go across the top, which we can also get rid of those as well. I hope you enjoyed the van tour. Thank you for staying till the end. If you have any questions about our van, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you like what you saw, please make sure that you click the like and subscribe button so you don't miss a video. And I really think you're going to like the videos in this playlist. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.